Meet Herbie, or Maynard, or I don't know. Looks like some kind of Disney Pixar cartoon character here. So, John here again. I got a friend that owns this machine, and it hasn't been running in a long time because he lives in New York State and he wants to sell it just because we don't rent them anymore. It's hard to ride in New York State. Can't rent them on state land. Basically, you know, what are you gonna do? Ride around somebody's yard? So I got to get it running. But first thing is, you know, I got to wash this thing. I mean, look at this thing. It's got dust on it, like caked up. I mean, this thing was candy apple red. Look at all that dust. Makes it look gold. Actually, it is gold, but it has got a lot of crap on there. Just been sitting around a long time. I don't know what's wrong with it. He said it did run. So I just wanted to make a quick video on something that's been sitting around a while, doesn't run. What I would do to, you know, steps that I would take to get it running. First is empty that gas tank, if there's anything in there. Get rid of the old gas. And then I guess I got the batteries charged, and we'll start from scratch, you know. First I gotta wash this thing. Jeez. Anyway, he wants to sell it. So there's that. It's a 600 Yamaha Grizzly 4x4. It's got some kind of funky lights on it. Like he's a deer poacher or something. This looks like something Brother Tom would make. I'm sure he did. It's got some kind of detachable hitch going on, a double hitch. A hitch on a, I don't know what he's doing with this, but maybe to tow it, or I don't know, tow somebody. Maybe it breaks down a lot, needs to be towed out of the woods, who knows. But let me power wash this thing right quick and see what's doing with this animal. Okay, so it's not gold, some kind of army tan. I think I'm going to name him Herb. Herb had just took a bath. Now I'll push her in the shop there and see if I can put some gas in there. Throw some, give him a sniff of starter fluid, see if it'll kick over. And go from there. If it does want to kick over, I'll probably just give the carburetor a bath and, you know, go through the brakes. Give it an oil change, spark plug, and hopefully everything will be alright. Front brakes, rear brakes, there's drum brakes in the back, which I don't think of, you know. We'll see what's going on. I'll check the oil in the gear case there, differential, whatever you want to call it. It looks like this shock has some sort of adjuster on it. So that's cool. You know, I don't know if it's some kind of stiffener or something. But I did pull it over. It's got compression, so hopefully that's normal. It's kind of hard to pull and not just pulling on a goddamn seized up engine. Yeah, I think it'd be alright. Alright, so next step, let's wheel it in there. Check for, well, first I'm just going to throw some gas in there, just see what the hell happens before I take everything apart. If she does want to kick, then maybe we'll take it apart and just clean up everything and call that. Right, battery's in, little discrepancy. Well, first of all, I checked all the fuses. Everything looks good. A little bit of a bare wire I had to tape up, but I had to put that clear hose. I can't see it in the light. That clear hose came with the battery there, and there used to be a rubber one here. I just used the clear one because the rubber one was too big, but this battery must be a little taller than the other one, because, or the original one, because this hole down ain't gonna fit. It's just way too high. But it is flush with the with this, so the seat fits in okay. But I see there's a provision here for one of those rubber strap deals, so I'll have to get one of those. Just clip it in here, stretch it across. So that's that. So we should have juice at least. Oh yeah. I don't know what the green light means, neutral. See if we got a little bit of starter. Oh yeah. So that's that. So let me take this off and see what looks like in the carburetor. I see they got, I'm not sure what that thing's about. That looks like something that's homemade, some kind of screen. Maybe to keep varmints out, I guess, because it ain't doing no good for filtering. So it must be a little rat trap, I suppose. So let me take this air box apart, see what's in there. Huh? Well, this is what I found. This thing is just kind of sitting there, wrapped with and then it just falls apart. It's just, I don't know what that is. I mean, it's supposed to be foam around this filter, but you can't even touch it. It just falls apart. And then if you look in here, there's some Earl down in there. That ain't cool, but I don't really care about that. There's a couple of discrepancies here. This hose, some kind of air hose that hooked to this, or didn't hook to it. It just kind of, I don't, you know. So I don't know what that hose goes to. I'll find out. Oop, it's about ready to break, but there's a hose here that was disconnected, and this hose here was disconnected. I'm going to find where they live. This hose was connected to the air box, this thing here. So I don't know if this is the original doohickey, because you got a screw here, you know, that this thing wasn't even a part of. Well, maybe it broke off, I don't know. But anyways, so let me get this air filter out of here, get that whole box out of there, so I can at least look at the carburetor, figure out maybe, uh-oh, see, that ain't cool. That looks like, this piece here looks like it was cut to me. Those look like some kind of saw mark. I don't know if this is the original piece here. I'll have to try to see what that is. Looks like just some kind of air box doohickey. Let me get this shit out of here. See, that goes to the, well, I'll have to look around. Well, there's the carburetor, a slide carburetor. I'm finding a bunch of these disconnected hoses. I don't know if this is a vent hose or vacuum or whatever the hell. And some go to carburetor, some go to other places, but you got, this is disconnected, that's disconnected. This piece here looks like it's sawed off. Just looks like a air box going to, looks like maybe just ventilation for the crankcase. I don't know. I'll have to look up a schematic or a parts diagram online. Hopefully I can find one. But let me see if I can squirt some shit in there. See if this booger will crank over. I mean, this thing's broke. I don't even know what the hell it is. I'll have to trace this stuff. They might be just vent lines, you know, for the transfer cases. I don't know why they'd come up here, but transfer case, the whatever, transmission, whatever you want to call it. That guy down there. I don't know. Let me squirt some shit in here. See if she'll kick over. But this box is just full of oil, and that thing is bare minimum. You need a filter. I mean, I think this is just makeshift, so we put that on there. But look at it. It's just really, it's just not doing anything. So let's see if there's a part number on that. Yeah, this is just soaked with oil. So I'll have to get to the bottom of that. Of course, I'll clean all that up, but I do have to get a parts diagram just to see what's going on here. This, I mean, I can feel it's all rough. It's cut, and see where these lines go. I mean, it looks like it's just going back down to yeah, just a, looks like some kind of vent, crankcase vent or something. I don't know. I'll get to the bottom of it though. Let me see if I can get some started. I can already see I got a problem with the choke. They're non-existing, just flapping around. Cable's probably seized. But let's see what happens here. Like I said, we'll just throw a little juice down there. Let's see if we can open that throttle up. Right down the gullet. Ugh. Alright. Fire in the hole. See if this starts. Or wants to kick anyways. Watch it backfire, blow the camera up. Where's the start button? Hey. So there's that. So, at least I know it runs. So what I'm going to do is I'll take that carburetor off and clean everything up because it looks kind of gummed up in there. And I'll clean all this shit up. It looks like oil soaked, you know, years of abuse. But so I'll take the carburetor off. I know it runs. I'll clean everything up. I got to get a diagram to see where all this shit goes. Maybe it's you know, I don't know. Somebody was in here just didn't want to. I don't know. I haven't figured that out yet, but I will. So that's that. Yeah, probably gonna have to overhaul this carburetor. See all that? Wow, I can see it. See it dripping there. And it's leaking from somewhere. It smells like fucking gas in here. Trust me. So I don't know if it's just the base, the bowl gasket, or whatever. Again, the shit's been sitting so long, it's probably just dried up and she ain't working anymore. So, like I said, I'm going to take that carburetor off and let her soak for 24 hours in one of those carburetor baths and probably see what kind of carburetor that is and get a gasket kit, and hopefully that'll do the trick. Then once that's off there, I can clean all this crap up because it doesn't look very healthy. It's pouring out of there. See if I can turn this gas off, save a little gas. I don't know if that'll help, but that's probably seized up too. Yeah, she's pouring out of there. So, alright, so I'm thinking, minus these hoses, I gotta figure out where the hell they go to. They're all broken and missing and, you know, shit. So once I figure out where they go, if needed, I think this carburetor, fixing this carburetor will do the trick, honestly. And of course getting an air filter, cleaning everything up, I think she'll be good to go. Because she did start. Again, I gotta figure out, there's just too many loose ends here. So, let me pull that carburetor, see what's doing. Okay, so I'll rip the carburetor out, and what I found was, I mean, the float in the float pin there is probably stuck. I mean, I'm looking around, all this stuff has just corroded O-rings, and I have a feeling the float pin was stuck, which happens quite often on small engine carburetors, and I could see this this pull out of frame there. This O-ring is just hard and crap, and you could probably see in there that maybe you can, maybe you can't. No, maybe not. Anyways, it smells terrible too. I could see a bunch of you know, corroded crap like on the end of that, you know. So I have a feeling that this carburetor pin was stuck. I mean, float was stuck, right? Causing it to yeah, I mean, look at this O-ring. I don't know if you can see that, but it's just brittle and hard. Even inside this, it's all caked up. So I'm just going to go ahead and see if I can get an overhaul kit, because just buying this gasket ain't going to do the trick. I mean, I think it was leaking out here, around here, but this thing is so brittle, and you know. So the float pin, I mean, look, you can see this is all channeled out, and it's got a bunch, well, I don't know if you can see that or not. You probably can't, but you know, this is supposed to sit down in there, and when the gas fills up in a bowl, you know, obviously this float plugs this hole, but I have a feeling that wasn't sealing. So instead of cleaning everything, I'm going to get a kit that hopefully comes with everything I need, all the, you know, the jets and tubes and everything I need. Because probably what's going on, look at this, this is burnt or something, this overflow hose. So it's probably just filling up, you know, just seeping out here. It's probably also going right into the intake and right into that's probably why it's probably going right into the crankcase, filling the crankcase oil up with gas. It's probably why there's oil in the air box, so let me go ahead and rebuild this carburetor, and I think that will be a fix, and get an air filter, and this thing should be running good. But for right now, I gotta go see if I can order an overhaul kit for this Makuni here, if it comes with everything. But I think that's the problem. Usually is. So usually when those carburetors, they backfeed gas into the crankcase. In this case, I'm looking at that sight glass, which I probably should do before I crank that over, but I only cranked it over for a second. The sight glass is down here, Doesn't appear to be any oil in there. So I took off, I'm going to take off the oil filter just because I don't want to get into something I don't need to, but because I just want to get this thing running. I might take the oil filter off just to look, but so looking inside, straight down in, I can see gears in there. I don't see any oil, although I don't think I would see it way down there anyways. But the sight glass, like I said, wiped it off. I don't see any oil in there. So let me put some oil in there. Unless that's all gas in there and can't see the oil level. Poured about a half a quart of oil, or what was left in this thing, I don't know how much was in there, maybe half a quart. It didn't change, it didn't come up on that sight glass, but so I did take the oil filter off, and I'm gonna have to replace that gasket because it's shot. Anyways, if you could just smell this oil filter. This is supposed to be an oil filter, right? It's just soaking, wringing wet with gas. So I'm sure that whole, I don't know where the oil went, but this is just soaked with gas. This is all shitted up with gas. So I'll get another oil filter, another O-ring, and some oil, and hopefully this engine will be okay, because there was nothing in it, and I don't know if it leaked out over time completely because it was diluted with the gas, leaked out somewhere on the engine. Just, man, it smells like gas in here, like bad gas too. My hands are all shitted up. I mean, that's terrible. And there's a little bit of grit in here. I mean, that I could feel the grit in there. So hopefully this engine's all right. And it, like I said, it just sat so long that because it was diluted with gas, the gas tank was empty when I got it, but clearly the crankcase wasn't, or maybe the crankcase is. Doesn't look like there's nothing in it. The sight glass didn't change nothing with a half a quart, but this is still soaked with gas. So that could be because when I filled the gas up just to test this out, that because the float pin stuck, it just was doing its cycle, going right down to the crank. Maybe, I don't know, but this is definitely not a good sign, but it will probably be okay because like I said, small engines, the crankcase mix with oil, you pull your dipstick and usually it's way over full, and it's, thin. In this case, there's nothing in the crankcase, but again, I think it just leaked out over time, hopefully. Probably should have looked at this first, but you ever have that feeling where, oh man, this thing's gonna break? Wow, that thing was in there. So it's a little bit rusted, but I figure I'm going to the parts store getting oil filters and oil and all kinds of stuff. I'll see if I can get this DPR 8EA9. Never heard of it, but see if I can get something like it. The electrode looks alright and everything, it's kind of rusted in there. Whew, got lucky on that one. The way this cylinder head's located, oh man, if I broke that off because it sits way deep in there in between these dual exhaust ports, that would have been a nightmare. Anyways, so I think we're gonna make some heads and tails here. I'll get this kit in Monday, replace all these valves, jets, clean everything up. Oh, I gotta take this diaphragm off. I ain't looking forward to that because these screws, they're Phillips heads, right? And they're always a pain right in the dick to get off. These caps. and 9 times out of 10 you strip them out. This one made it, and I used a long, you know, screwdriver for torque. I did have an impact screwdriver where, you know, you just whack on it. I still might have something that I can use, but I lost that. I left it on a tailgate. So I had to cut this. I don't know if you can see that. This head didn't make it. So I ended up, you know, cutting this as flush as you can to this. You gotta be careful because it's aluminum. You can get right into that. So the head, once you get the head off, you know, this will slide off, and usually these are loose once the head's off, you know, and it was. So just unscrewed the rest of it by hand. But you know, you could try to put in a hex. This is what I'm going to do next. Even though it's slotted on the top, you know, I'll put a screw like this in so you can get at least a nut driver on it. I mean, that's ridiculous. Put Phillips heads in a, you know, I run into all the time, man. They're almost impossible to get off. So that being said, the other side of this booger is that diaphragm, and it's got the same deal, man. And I already know that they're tight because I tried it, so I might end up having to cut these off. I don't know. This isn't no problem because it's steel, and as you can see, it goes right through, so I can, you know, if I gum the threads up on a carburetor, you know, I could send a bolt and nut right through, tighten it up. There's plenty of room. But so I'll get this off. I got to get this off to get this plastic slide off. And, go through this carburetor and clean it up real good. So I might do that just because I got to wait for that kit anyway. But I do have to run to the parts store and get some oil, a spark plug, and what else? Oil, spark plug, and whatever else. Oh, some line, I think I already have some tie gun, but get some carburetor line. I gotta redo these lines. Most of them are shit. There's that one cracked one. I don't even know where it goes. And I don't even know where this one goes. Where'd it go? But it fell off. Alright, so I just emptied the oil out, and you know, this thing came blasting out because it's spring loaded, but holy crap, I just got a face full of gas. This is all, and mind you, I just put a half a quart of oil in there. Look at it, it's all gas. I mean, the oil that I just put in there is a half a quart. I don't know what this capacity is. Probably only takes a quart, maybe 2 quarts, but that is all gas. It smells like shit too. So this carburetor was definitely just leaking like a sieve. Explains why that gas tank was empty. Explains why there's no oil. I don't know where the gas and oil went. Probably just seeped out somewhere. But so hopefully the engine is okay, because although I didn't run this, I don't know when the last time it was ran. Hopefully I had some kind of oil in there, because this is just straight gas. Don't know what to make of it. I did put gas in the tank. Maybe I should check that, see if it just leaked right on through. I didn't put much in there, so no oil to be found though. That's concerning. But like I said, I'm gonna get a filter. I'll fill her back up with oil, and because I gotta wait till Monday, you know, today is Saturday, I gotta wait till Monday anyways to get that carburetor kit. So I'll fill this, I'll put the spark plug and oil back in this and let it set, see if it leaks out anywhere just on its own. Hopefully not, because I ain't getting into that, or I don't think he wants me to, tearing the engine apart to replace a crank seal or something. I don't know. So let me do that. But boy, this gas is nasty smelling. So I cleaned up some of these parts. I found an O-ring for this oil cap. A little bit, but so that one fits good. Put this little screen back on there, so that's good. This one, I have an assortment of gaskets that I just keep laying around. So hopefully I got a rubber O-ring in here this size. Thought I had a bag with O-rings in them. I'm sure I did somewhere. Oh, Oh, that's way too big. I thought I had a, oh, there we go. Wow, look at that. I think it's sitting right there. Look at that. Bingo was his name up. So now I can pick this old cruddy one out. Pop this new guy in, and I got a this oil filter. This oil filter and spark plug came to like $9, but that's what the spark plug that was in there. So this Napa filter comes to $4,935. The Fram, I think, was CA 6004, I forgot, but went to Napa and got this, and of course this, I'll show you how that goes in. So this thing was pretty shitted up. I cleaned this base up, and I put this new gasket in. Fits like a glove, right? So it's possible, because that gasket was almost flat to this, it's possible, oil could have been leaking out of this filter, because this was all oil soaked. I cleaned it all up, but I couldn't even see this at first. This is just a little oil drain there, but it's possible it could have been leaking out of this, the oil, because that was all crappy. I didn't get it as good as I can, but so anyways, I'll put this booger in with the whole side first there, right? That stem looks threaded, but it's not. It's just a stem, and it just fits in there, and that's it. Just kind of gets pressure fitted in there. Actually, I thought that would be a drain. You know what that is probably? I don't know how you're going to get to it, because I'd have to take this cover off. This might be a vent, because the cap goes on like this. It says oil filter here, So that might have, to vent the oil, because might have a problem getting up to the top. I don't know. I'm just guessing, but that's what it looks like to me. Seems how it goes this way. Put my hands in there. But maybe that's why the thing was leaking, just because that gasket was bad. I don't know, but I'm going to put some oil in here, and see if it leaks out, because that sight glass, which you probably can't see that, to clean that up a little bit, but I put that half a quart of oil in there. It didn't do nothing. Of course, there was a lot of gas in there, so most likely what I was seeing was gas. Or like you couldn't see the sight glass, it was just clear because it was gas. But anyways, I'm going to tighten that up, and then I'm going to throw some oil in this puppy. Got my little funnel here, and hopefully everything will be alright. I might take this, it comes off easy enough. If it's just three bolts, I'll probably just take this off right quick, just to clean things up, look around, maybe vent that cap, see if I can get a little oil coming out of it. When it comes to these Phillips screwdrivers, like I was pointing out before, the longer the screwdriver, the more torque you have, right? But even so, these things get so tight. This one's starting to strip already. I put a lot of downforce. I got it in my vise here. Put a lot of downforce. I don't even know why I start off with a screwdriver. These typically always, not this, I don't really mess with this kind, but the other side of this, the float bowl, those bolts, Phillips screw, the same screw. I already broke one on the other side, because I started off with this stupid thing, and it's what's supposed to be there. It's a good fit, it's a snap-on tool. But they just get so tight. I don't know why they use Phillips when they can just use a hex. But anyways, so this one's got a little, like I said, wowed out already. So what I do, they have that manual drive tool, that you can, it's pretty heavy duty. You whack on it with a hammer. It's got a ratcheting system, kind of like them screwdrivers that go in and out, but I should always start in that, but I always pick up a screwdriver and I always screw it up. So I did break the one bolt, but this time I'm going to do, I don't have that tool for manual, but I've got something that's way overkill, right? But you got to be careful, because either one of two things is going to happen. It's either going to come loose, or you know, one of three things. It's going to strip this out, you know, like instantly, or it's going to snap the screw. Either way, this is messed up so bad that I'll be shocked if it comes out, but if it does, that's a bonus. Either way, you know, this has got enough room and it can go right through. I can cut this off like I did the other one and just put a nut and bolt. If you can't get the threads out, usually the threads will come out. You could just replace the screw, but I'm just going to go ahead and put pressure on this bitch and make sure I'm in reverse. And just give it a whack. You got to put a lot of pressure though, because something to hold on to. Oh, look at there. That one actually is so screwed up it kind of bit into it. I can't even get it off now. Wow. There it goes. So I have to replace that. I'll get this one. I didn't touch this one yet, so this one hopefully will just come out the same way. Yep. Yep, no problem. So, overkill, but did the trick. Yep. So I'll leave that in for right now because I don't want to take this apart yet because of the I'm just going to leave this. I'm waiting for parts to come, so I just kind of doused it in this seafoam stuff. So let it do its thing. Eat up some of that crap there. Then I got to get to all the replacing, like I said, those jets. You hate it. You hate it when you're waiting on parts. You can't continue until you get the parts. Then the parts come in, and they're wrong parts. I just love that. That's the wrong gasket, so I'm assuming everything else is wrong. There might be something in there that's right, but you know, at this point, the guy that owns this didn't want to spend any money anyways. Well, I can't see taking a carburetor apart and just cleaning it when these kits are pretty cheap. You know, why not replace it with new parts? But I'm going to take it apart and I guess now I'll clean it. I just cleaned that gasket up the best I could in this bowl, but if there's any parts in there I can use, I will. If not, try to get my money back. But so anyways, I gotta take this diaphragm off. I thought everything was loose. Man, that sucks. I've been waiting since Saturday. Monday it came in. I couldn't get to it yesterday, so then it comes in Monday and I didn't look at the parts just because I was told this was a 98, so I got 98 carburetor. It might not be a 98, or they just sent the wrong doohickey. So be gentle with this guy. It's like a silk flower. I don't want to be replacing that. This thing. So I'm just going to go ahead and take everything apart and clean it up. Yeah, it's pretty filthy in there. So I'm sure just cleaning it will work, but you know, I'd rather replace it with some parts. And I don't think, you know, looking at this bed, that's different too. That's much thinner. Oh well, I guess we're going to be cleaning. We'll be cleaning instead of replacing. Anyways, so first thing I did was you know, clean the outside of this carburetor best I could, and you know, I'm just using this seafoam. Just let it soak a little bit in there. Stings when you get carburetor cleaner in here. So basically I'm just taking everything apart and then spraying it out, putting everything back together, because that kit, it ain't even matching up, it's not even close. So at least it'll be cleaned, and you know, stuff for 20 bucks. Go ahead and replace everything, but I'm just going to have to clean it up. 1.5 turns out. Now I'll just spray everything up. It's kind of hard to tell now, 50-year-old eyeballs. That actually does look a little checked up, so I'll replace that one. Probably, like I said, have them anyways, I'll go through and something like this. These little three little. You probably can't see them in there. I get something to poke in there. So I can clean it up. Sometimes welding wire, but these look a little thin, so I'll use like a little ticket here. And go ahead and poke and prod and get everything as cleaned up as best you can. And you can probably see them come right through. Yeah, so if you see them three little things in there, you can see my wire coming through. It's like a pipe cleaner. Just clean everything up. I'm gonna clean everything up, put everything back together. Gotta replace that O-ring, and there's a little jet in here. I don't think the screwdriver is gonna do the trick. I gotta get my little screwdriver. Anyways, I take all I usually replace everything, but this is the wrong kit, so can't replace everything. So I'm just gonna take everything apart, clean it up, put it back together. I'm sure it'll be fine. Alright, so I replaced all the, I found an O-ring for the, two of them actually that looked pretty bad, the ones I think was leaking. So this float pin now works pretty good. Yeah, it's working. If you put some air in here, just blow on it when it's up like this, you know, your float's going to be down. You can hear air coming out. Stick it upside down, then the float's closed. You can't blow through it, so that's that. So it's just cleaned up best I could. I'm going to put this back in there and let's call this a day. I got these, I don't know what I'm more, I got some new run tubes here. These are pretty shot, so I'll replace them. Let me put this back in, see if this pump stuff. Yep. So I got the heart back in, Herb there, carburetor's in. Just about to adjust it. Well, adjusted the idle air mix 1.5 turns. That should get her started. And sometimes I don't even have to fuck with it from there, but all of a sudden downpour. So I thought I could finish this outdoors. I got my truck inside, and now it's pouring rain out, so I have to wait till this passes through. Hopefully it'll pass through. And then put the air box back in and call this a wrap. But the oil level, I forgot to mention, remained the same overnight. No puddles or nothing, so it's still in the crankcase, so that's good. And I suspect I'll lose a little bit, you know, when I start it up for the oil filter there, when it cycles through. So I'll put a little splash back in, maybe I don't know, quarter of a quart, whatever. So for right now, the carburetor's back in the hole. I just got to fill in that, well, I'm going to tune it without the air box on there just because it's a pain in the ass to get to that idle screw or air mix. It's underneath, and you got to have this little tiny screwdriver, and it's pretty dark in there. So once this rain subsides, I got no doubt that this thing's going to start up. It's starting to let up, so it's still raining now. So I put them new lines in, a Targon, or whatever the fuck you call it, and routed them. They're just vent lines, and fixed a few other hoses there. So I got to put this air box in here. I mean, first I got to start it and tune it, but then put this air box in here and call this a wrap. Alright, well, she's running. I got to adjust as best I can without the air box on there, but I have to use a little guy like this for the air fuel mix because you can't fit a screwdriver in it. That way it's on the bottom of that carburetor. Just got to get a little bit and adjust it that way. I have to adjust the idle a little bit, but I think it's running good. No way to tell. Put everything together and give her a spin. Alright, so old Herb, he's back together. I even put that little rat trap back on there. Just a little piece of screen, some rubber band, a little better than that. wire that was so stiff. But so they put this seat on. Stop raining for a bit anyways. Let's take her for an old romp, huh? Ready to go. It's been sitting around for quite a few years. Clean the dust off, clean the carburetor up, change the oil. She's good to go. Sounds good. That's about all I'm going to do with it. I didn't check the brakes or anything, but they seem to work alright. But that's all I'm going to do. Nice little machine. Alright, later Herb. Thanks for watching.